Alright, I'm going to continue integrate my components with HTMX and Golang. Right, so the progress last time was until I'm able to swap the components between add to do button and also the input field. The next step is I want to have a tick icon here so that I can add to do items. So the first thing is material icon. Let's go to the symbol and icons and find where is the tick or check. Right, there's a check, there's a done here. I'll use the check. Right, so we close all the tabs and go to the add to do input.temper. From here, add this check and then make it a cursor pointer, yes. And when it's triggered, then I expect to have the name being sent to my post request. So my post request is going to be pointing to adding a to-dos, and the trigger is click, where it will change my outer HTML back to the so it will change the target of to-dos. Well, it will change this to-dos and add in the data that I need. Swap the entire outer HTML for to-dos. Right, so this is how I think it should be. Let's wait it finish running first, and then we shall see the network request to make sure that it does the thing we want to. Alright, when I click on that, nothing happens. Oh, there is a check button, right? Yeah, when I click on this, there's nothing happening. Oh, there's a target error. Also, so my target has to be a to-dos. So I do not have any to-dos yet because my to-do card is a hard-coded one. So definitely I want to switch it to the actual one instead of hard-coded. But before that, the type, right? This to-do card DTO is actually just private because the two fields I'm putting in is a lowercase one. So in Golang, if we want to change it to, probably we'll move it out of the templates and create a new folder called DTO, and then we put in all the data structure that we are using. The to-do card. I'm thinking about the Golang file naming convention. Okay, so it has to be begin with dot or underscore is ignore, and then simple and short name. That's all. Okay. Files. Where source files are all lowercase with underscore separating multiple words. Compound file names are separated with underscore. Starting with dot or dash underscore is ignore, which means that I can separate by underscore by creating a DTO called to do underscore cut.dto.go, and from here put in the to do cut DTO with a text and also boolean. And because this is a new folder, the package name is going to be DTO. Okay. See if that works. Alright. So ID, text, and chat. For our template, the part that we are using, the to do cut DTO, it has to be switched from DTO.to-do-cut DTO instead. So this to do cut DTO, we are not using it anymore, and we are going to import the Golang DTO, and this is going to be DTO.to-do-cut DTO, and our to do is pointing to a uppercase attribute instead of a lowercase attribute now. So here is how we can build a simple to do cut. Secondly, our to do cut DTO, again, it is used in our index.tempo file, but I do not want to directly use in here. Instead, I want to move this list of to-dos into a components so that I can reuse it over again. Okay, so the name I'll put it to-do CRUD, to-do cards.temper. Well, for other files I'm using the underscore as a separate to separate the words. But after this, probably I will just separate it with underscore, since that's a recommended way of doing things. The package name is components, and we have a function. No, we have a temper of to-do cards. And inside the to-do cards, we want to have one to-dos so that I can put in my list of to-do. Yeah. Dot to-do cards. Okay, DTO dot to-do card DTO. Alright. So I'm going to loop the to-dos. So the ID is to-dos for this element, and the list of to-do is I need to find the temper dot guide and find how to do the looping from here. Syntax and usage, there's a for loops. So this is what I need. Let's copy the entire for loop, paste it right here. For to-dos in the range of to-do, spawn a to-do card with DTO. So to-do card is part of templates package, but I do not want it to be in the package there. Maybe I just change it to inside the components. So I have the to-do card, and I don't want to have a to-do card outside anymore. Let's remove it. Okay. So to-do card.tempo is where I don't need this. Package is components. Alright, and then we have the DTO.to-do-card DTO. Yes, so it's taking the normal DTO in and then render the text and also edit and delete. I don't need an ID, right? So ID is probably I need a dynamic ID. Attribute. Static rendering. So let me check if there's any information about ID. Alright, hashtag select swap transform. I want to make an ID dynamic, as in the ID should be like to do dash with the to do dot DTO to do the ID, something like this. Okay, but anyway, this is the ID that I'm going to add in later. So I just observe if this syntax works. If it doesn't work, then I need to find out another way. Well, actually I can find another way because I'm thinking this may work. This is to do dash with dot ID, like this. I'm thinking that this may work, but let me just try observe a bit. Okay, coming back to the original goal that I wanted to do. So to-do card is okay already, right? To-do.text, to-do.id, import is fine, comment is needed. So the next step is to-do cards. Here, I can now have access to the to-do card DTO, but I don't have to access. I need to change the ID to my to-do.id, text to to-do.text, and also check to to-do.check. Right? So finish rendering the entire thing. come back to the CSS and also the air. Also, there's a to do card DTO is undefined. Where undefined? Where? Templates slash component. To do cards.temper does not recognize the to do card DTO. Oh shit! So it's a DTO dot to do card DTO. Okay. Well, let's try again. Missing comma in the to do card dot temper. Okay. Okay. Right. I think it's it should be correct already. Just to do card temper source formatting error. But before I do the changes in index temper, I'm just going to fix this thing first. Right. So index is going to tag in. This is my main HTML file. It's going to tag in the DTO dot to do card DTO. So it's a list of to dos, and then going to render the temper to do cards. Components dot to do cards to do's like this. And here don't need anymore. Okay. I want to observe if I still need the BGYP6 gap for to do's. Maybe I don't need this anymore. And I also forgot what is the oh, there is an error, is it? Wait for a while first for it to finish running the. Okay, so generate the horizontal is height. Also, it's a height of 48 pixel. Alright, can to do cuts. Not enough argument to put. Okay, so main.go is already successfully generated. Finally, our main file, we need to initialize some test data. I assume that I can put in DTO here. Very slow. Surprisingly slow. Okay. Okay. And then ID1 text to first item check false. Okay, this is the first. Let's have few more. So this will do. Second item. Okay. Right, syntax highlighting works. Finally, to do's. Right, to do's is going to be put inside the index.templates.index. So the to do's, this data will be passed into my index.temper folder, and then the data will then be used to render the to do cards. Alright. So I have the first item and second item already, but I noticed that there are 2 layers of background. I have it, and I don't really want 2 layers. Would it be because I feel like my changes are not in common typography. Okay. I still have two layers. It's very strange. Let's check. 2XL ma, BGY. It's the ID of to-dos. Okay, this makes sense. Here is the thing. My index.temper is not generated properly. It seems like it's still taking in the BGY. Yeah, it's still writing the string for me. Get 4 rounded, etc, etc. So it might be due to the error that I see in the... Yes, it is. Generated code to do CRUD.temper failed to process this one. Okay, let's see what happens there. Is it because of the typography that I'm setting? No. Index.temper formatting error. Oh, okay. So probably it's because of this thing. So I try to put in a comma and see if that works. So to do CRUD.temper has changed. Okay, now it has successfully generated the thing. But I still see 2 layers. So I'm going to try remove hard refresh everything. Interesting. Okay, so every row I have a background. Yes, this is true. And this thing is used by my to-do card to generate a list of to-do cards. And this to-do cards is used to render my thing. Okay. Let me try opening a new private. Even though it's a... Oh, okay. How about... Yeah. So CSS is a heap out of memory because of the build error, I think. So I guess this is the reason why my code is behaving quite strange. But I don't know. No, I still see the error in my... so this is the index.temper formatting error. I think I cannot ignore this. Oh, why is there another... I can't save it properly already. There was another weird little close brackets. This file seems to be generated. Oh, okay. No. The formatting is not working. Let me wait for a while for the formatter. Okay, formatter is working actually. Just now was the issue was I accidentally created one close curly bracket, so it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't rebuild. Right, so I have the dynamically generated to-dos already. Finally, would be whenever there are any changes to the data, I want it to respond and generate a new to-do cards for me. Right, when I click the add to-do, wait a minute, connection refused. Why? Okay lah, anyway. Maybe this syntax is just not a good one. I'll find out how to do a thing there later. Hey, keep running. Alright, boom. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so when I click the tick, it will send a post request to my /todos API, where I want to see if it includes any form data in. It seems like it does not. Yeah, there's only like one single post request without any data. So I want it to be a post request while putting the add to do input as part of the data, so that my backend can add in a new to do list. So I'm going to change this entire thing into a form. Let it reload, and then I see if that works. Okay, reload and add. Okay, so post request with a payload now, add to do input, and I got the text already. The next thing I want to do is I want to change my I want to add post request to handle a post route like API to handle creations of my to-dos items, and return it with my component dot to-do cards and put in my to-dos. So I'm going to return the entire to-do cards with the new to-do list, but before this I'm going to add to-do, add the data into to-dos. So to-dos is equal to append to-dos of the data. ID is with data like this of ID equal to, say, to-dos, I think it's a iota, is it, like, or string convert dot itor with to-dos dot length 1 2 plus 1. It's a length to do plus 1, and the text itself is equal to my to-dos. No, this is the form value, so c dot form value, and I want to get the name. So if text is equal to c dot form value name. Okay, if text is equal to nothing, then I will return an error message telling the front end to render the error invalid text. If there is something here, then I'll put in the text in with the check value of false. So from here, I then try if I can. Oh, so it's a length to do's. Okay. See if there are error. Okay. Generating Go action. Let's wait for a while. Okay. So no more error, adding a to do and returning the new component. But now when I post it, I want it to swap with my current to do cards, which is this. So when I go to the add to do input, when I press the check button, it's going to replace whatever element that starts with the ID of to dos, which I already set up in my to do cards. So the ID of this entire section is to dos. So my ideal situation is that it will swap in with the new set of to dos. So let's try it out. Okay, when I add it, I still get a bad request, invalid text. Okay. So my form value is incorrect. So the form value is add to do input. So when I go to the main.go, the form value that I'm going to see is not named, but it's going to be add to do input. So let's build again and see. Okay, it's not running again. Wait for a while. Boom. Add to do with. Okay, so it works as exactly as intended. So I can add in the new items. I can then in this case, right, aside from swapping with the to-do list here, I also may want it to close the tick that I have after I've added the component. So I want to swap two elements at once. I'll figure out how to do that probably in the future exploration. But today I'm just wanting to add in one simple operations, which is the delete operations, because delete just seems to be easier to handle. Like in terms of API lah, I'm just going to add in like /to-do/ the ID and then c.param ID. Okay. Remove from to do. Golang filter array of structs. Oh, it's called slice. Is it slice? Chat. There's a Go-Traders. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the only way, but I can say filter by ID, and I have my to-dos, which is a reference of DTO dot to do cut DTO with the ID of string, and I also have my out is same thing, DTO dot to do cut DTO. So first thing is make a string struct. What is the set? Okay, add the u.id length to do's. This struct, assume that it's interchangeable with my DTO dot to do cut DTO and length of to do's. I don't really know why it's actually very strange how it operates. This is out. Create a map to use it to filter. Why is it so complicated one? I have the out of. Do I really need to loop myself? Is there any anyway, okay. Not to do cut DTO. This. No new variable at the left side of the compiler. So because if I specify it already, it will throw me an error. That's very interesting. Probably there's a way of initializing without explicitly mentioning, and like I initialize it in this way. For example, this will create a reference to the out already, so I can just do a loop for to do in the range of to do's if to do dot id there's nothing to equals to id continue, and if not, then out will be append out with to do. This is my idea lah, and then after this will be just returning the out. But why to do is undefined here. It's a list of to do's, then it's supposed to be this way. Okay, anyway, Okay. Okay. Filter by ID. Then I will, if it's equal to the ID, then I don't want to add it in. If not, then I will just return it out. So filter by ID supposed to be return to-dos equal to filter by ID to-dos with the ID of ID. Okay, so this is what I think the delete operation should be. So I added the route already. They will be filtering by the to-do ID. And finally, the thing that I need to do is I will wait a minute. Okay lah, maybe the server is not running anymore, so it turns out to be an error when I try to trigger the operations. Okay, so oh, wait a minute. Okay, so add in is successful, but there's a problem right now. The to-do item, it does not associate with any sort of ID. So I want it to have a unique ID so that I can use it in my CRUD operations. So value can have a placeholder, yes, okay. Attributes. I just want to assign every element that I create, right? The to-do card with a unique ID so that I can do a selector on it easily. Oh, this is the SSS issue that I'll be looking into it afterwards as well. But I just want to do the basic operations first before going to thinking about solving security issues. Okay, but anyway, continue. If else is okay, alright. Switch, okay, for loop, template composition. Oh, can wrap the children, interesting. I want to see if there are specific use case for, okay, for example, like this class expression can tag an array of values. So this array of values, it will combine together with space as a separator, if not mistaken, but it doesn't allow, yeah, this is a class only, which is not something I want to have. I want to have it in the ID, so it has to be a attribute. Once option, server-side rendering. Okay, anyway, the best way to try is just to try it. For example, ID equal to separator with a to-do.id. Yeah, I just want to add in the ID. Although I don't think this will work, but we'll have to give it a try, I guess. If not, I can't see any ways of doing this anymore. Right. The wait time is extremely long. Okay. Right, I get the to-do item now. And the ID is not changed at all, unfortunately. How about not having oh, okay. How if it is treated as a Golang? So I can do like to-do dash to-do.id. Does this make sense? Okay. Let's find out. Boom. This is not the final one, still running. Okay, failed to remove a file because access is denied. Okay, ID is to do 1, to do 2, to do 3. Yes, this is the way. Okay, so now every single to-do card have a specific ID already. My only goal now is on click the delete, I want to delete the element. So this will be quite straightforward to do, provided that I can reuse the same logic that I have used for the add operation. Okay, inside the to-do card, delete. I'm just going to say a #s delete /to-do/ so it's going to be a string /to-do/ to-do.id, and after that would be a trigger by click, changing the auto HTML into to-dos. I feel like this is the way to go. Let's try. Let's wait for a while. Hopefully this is a good closure for the day. Add the to-do. Boom, boom. Okay, can add, delete. Woo! Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, I can add multiple one, and then I can delete any one. Oh shit. Do I see a issue just now? Okay. No panic first, just delete one. when I delete one, many will get deleted. What the fuck? Filter by ID. Okay, IFC params.id. Let me check the network. Okay, don't panic first. Check network. Okay, the network is add to do is returning. Okay, add to do input. Check it. Wait a minute. Delete. Okay, so delete is delete the to-dos with 3 /to-do/3, whereby my ID would be 4456. So I have to do with this exact same link. Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Just now, okay, it was a mistake. Because the ID, I'm doing it by length, which is really not ideal, because if I do it by length, right, after I delete something and add it back, the ID will be conflicting with each other. So in order to solve this, Golang generate random UUID. I'll need to generate a random UUID now. If not, then using by count it doesn't make sense, right? So GitHub Google UUID seems like a good component, and ID is equal to UUID.new. String convert I don't need anymore. ID just randomly generate one. And finally the GitHub here, just want to go get boom. Okay, A. Right, so it's not supposed to have a red color now after the formatter has been refreshed. Okay, so no more error. UUID.new has an error as a string value in the struct. So it's not a string value, it's a dot string. Okay, like this, dot string. Okay, so hopefully it works now. Let's wait for the building. Not building. If not building, then I'm going to rebuild you. Generated all the templates successfully, and then please rebuild. Right, running. Okay, add it multiple times and remove it. Okay, now it works because I remove out from. Oh, why is my what have I done to make this become at the bottom? Oh, okay. Anyway, okay, guess that's all for the study today. The remaining items, right, I think is just creatively and getting used to how to do the component swapping in a suitable way. Looking at how simple the documentation is, they just provide different ways of doing things, but there's no a certain standard or framework that how you should organize with the components or whichever things, even the API protocol. But the good thing about it is it's quite straightforward to understand. Just trying to switch the mindset from using JSON to pass the data to using the HTML and do the swapping consistently. Yeah, so I'll try if I can operate with. I think in the coming study, I'll try to figure out two things. The first one is how to control multiple components at once. For example, when I click tick, aside from adding to my to-do list here, I also want to close my current element and make it become the button because I've already added. And then I want it to clear out my input field, so I don't want to see the input anymore. So that's the first thing. And secondly is using the same way to do the edit operation. After these two have done, then we can start operate with the database to persist the data, and moving forward will be more interesting stuff like authentication and all this that will come into play in the near future. Right, guess that's all for the sharing today. Thanks.